If you can buy 4 bulbs of elephant garlic for $8, then how many can you buy for $32? So I'm just going to start by underlining important information in the word problem. Okay, so the two things that we're talking about are money, or dollars, and bulbs. Okay, so it really helps you to write that out first to stay organized. So dollars over bulbs. Okay, and then the first ratio you have is you could buy 4 bulbs for $8. So I'm going to make sure that the number 4 is on the bottom along with the bulbs. Alright, so 4 goes on the bottom, lined up with, the bulbs, and then $8 goes on the top. It's all lined up. $8, 4 bulbs. Alright, and then I'm trying to find out how many bulbs I can buy with $32. So this is another dollar amount, so it's going to go on the top with the $8. Okay, and I don't know how many bulbs, that's an unknown. I'm trying to find that out, so I'm going to put an X there. Okay, and if you have numbers that go into each other nicely, it makes it pretty easy. For example, 8 times 4, I know is 32. So if I times the top number by 4, I also need to times the bottom number by 4. And I know 4 times 4 is going to give me 16, and I would label my answer bulbs. That one worked out nicely because 8 goes into 32 evenly, so it's really easy to find out the answer. But I'm going to show you how you could do it using cross multiplication too. So if I solve this using cross multiplication, I drop down the equal sign so I don't forget, and then 8 times x gives me 8x. And 4 times 32 gives me 128. The last thing I do to get x by itself, this is really saying 8 times some number gives you 128. So the opposite of multiplication is division. Divide out that coefficient. 128 divided by 8 is going to give me 16. And since it's on the bottom, I know that's telling me how many bulbs I would get for $32. So I would get 16 bulbs for $32. That answers my question. All right, let's look at another example. Okay, with this one it says the Crayola Crayon Company can make 2,400 crayons in 4 minutes. How many crayons can they make in 15 minutes? So the two things that I'm talking about are crayons and minutes. So I'm just going to set that up. And the first ratio I have is I know that if I have 2,400 crayons, that goes on the top with the crayons, it's going to take me 4 minutes. Okay, so 4 goes on the bottom with the minutes. And it's asking me how many crayons can they make in 15 minutes. So 15 is going to go on the bottom because it's minutes. Okay, and we don't know how many crayons, so I'm going to put an X there because it's an unknown. If you decide to set it up the other way with minutes on the top and crayons on the bottom, that's fine, just as long as all the minutes that we're talking about, 4 minutes and 15 minutes, stays on the top, and then crayon stays on the bottom. But I'm just going to go ahead and use the first way. So this is a little bit harder because 4 doesn't go into 15 easily. So I can't do it the same way I did the first one. I can't say like 4 times some number gives me 15 because it's going to be a decimal. Alright, so I can't really do it that way. I'm going to have to use cross multiplication. So I'll bring my equal sign down, and I know 4 times x is going to give me 4x. And 2,400 times 15 is 36,000. Okay, so I just cross multiply with the diagonals. Now to get x by itself, I know I need to divide out that coefficient because that's multiplication, and to cancel it out, you do the opposite. Okay, so 36,000 divided by 4 is 9,000, and I want to label that crayons because notice how it's on the top with the crayons. That's what we're trying to find out. So I know that in 15 minutes, if I'm moving at the same rate, I will make 9,000 crayons in 15 minutes.